Hi, my name is Rafael Cruzado, and I'm a graduate student in the Center for Latin American Studies at the University of Florida. I'm really interested in this experience for multiple reasons. It all started out with my mom. Um, she grew up in the Dominican Republic in a household where she was the oldest woman and she wasn't allowed to go and finish school. She barely made it through high school and did not go to college because my grandmother just wouldn't let her. And I personally live the disadvantages of that and understand how difficult it was for her. So for me, since I was young, I knew that I wanted to be an educator. My goal is to become a university professor and inspire the next generation. And I've definitely pursued that throughout my academic career. When I was an undergraduate at the University of Florida, I went to Alabama on a service trip and I worked with children in an underprivileged community working on financial literacy. And you'd be surprised just how inspiring it is to be able to empower people to feel like they're independent and self-sufficient. And I continued these experiences when I went to Guatemala on another service trip recently as a learning partner. I went with six other young ladies, and we worked in a school called the Miguel Angel Asturias Academy, in which they used a social justice framework. And I mean, you may not know me, but if there's anything that really stands out in my life, is that I really believe in social justice. One of the shows I grew up watching, which is really interesting given that the episodes would come out every 2 years, was the PBS Wide Angle series called Time for School, in which they chronicled the education of women around the world. I just found it really inspiring that, I was privileged to have an education and an individual, just because they're a woman, could not. So I made sure I followed through with that in college. And one of the books I've read is actually Pedagogy of the Oppressed by Paulo Freire. And I absolutely, truly believe that that is the best method to help women in education. The fact that it takes a critical lens to culture, especially in countries like Ecuador, where machismo is prevalent and where women have to work at young ages or have to have early marriages, the goal is to get them to graduate. That's the goal. Because a woman who is educated is not only more empowered, but she can make a difference. And it really does truly affect all of society. And I also believe that knowledge should be co-created. It shouldn't just be me telling you what you need to learn and filling up your head as if it was a bank account. You know something too as an individual. And I feel that if I empower young girls to be able to share their stories and I can share my stories, together we can create something called knowledge. And not just one truth, but the multiple truths that outline knowledge. I truly believe that working on graduation rates and getting them to that finish line will truly empower not only the girls themselves, but entire families and an entire country. And that is why I would like to have this awesome opportunity to help change the world. Thank you.